Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Rob Baer, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Mike Haspil, and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Greetings and Felicia Day.
Salutations.
What's up, everybody?
There's like a Spanish way to say that too, right?
Felicitaciones.
You do it way better than me.
Yes, Haspil speaks better and more
to you
goodly.
guys as well.
He's the best talker.
Yeah, he's wow.
Almost like he writes good and stuff.
Yeah.
Languager.
Yeah, man.
That's also what it means in English. Cletus 3K says it means congrats. And I'm like, it means the same thing.
Here I was trying to figure out what the Spanish was for mosquito all this time.
But Zudi's like, there's a Spanish way to say everything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fact. So here we are in our second ever Thursday podcast schedule.
I feel like my Thursday night for the last 10 years has been different.
Yeah, it's still taking time to get used to it, as we settle into it. In addition to, I imagine, anybody who's made this, somebody Facebook the other day is like, I've been watching this shit on Wednesday for 7 years. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Sorry.
Somebody was like, oh, but football's going to start. And I was like, I don't know if there's a
Why not both?
Yeah.
First off, yeah.
I can do two things at once.
We changed this schedule for a lot of reasons. One of them was to not get dodged by GW anymore on Thursdays, even though they haven't been doing anything on Thursdays. But that's going to change here in October.
They're like, we'll show you.
They haven't been doing anything. They've been doing negative things.
They've been actually not doing anything at all. Fact. But October, a lot of things are going to happen. And do you have any... I'm sure you have predictions on the timelines there. I'm getting a lot of people like panic mode. Like, when is this Necron Codex going to drop? When is this? Like, all this shit. So
they told you in October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what last time they said something was coming in October, when it came out, it actually came out in November.
Yeah. So it's probably going to,
they told you November 1st.
Right. It's going to be, you can pre-order it in October. Like the last weekend possible is October. Expect that and you won't be disappointed.
Maybe we should do that. I have opinions. I have a lot of shit to talk about tonight, to be quite honest.
All right, let's start the show correct. Wyatt, tell us your joke so we can get to Rob's news.
Yeah. Got you. All right. So would you rather live in the Star Wars universe as a Jedi?
Oh, wow.
Or would you rather live in the D&D universe as a wizard?
Trick question. It's the same thing.
No, it's not. It's very, very, very different existence.
Okay.
What period of Star Wars?
I'll say like at the height of the Jedi's powers. So it's not just a total downer.
Questions. So if I live in the D&D universe, am I in a lit RPG novel, basically?
You're in the D.
So like I have to acquire skills, experience, and
yes.
So that's part of my life now.
Yes.
Okay.
You are a wizard. You cannot be a barbarian. You are a wizard.
Right. I'm a wizard character class. Right. I've read a lot of RPG novels. I think I understand what you're putting down there. I live in that universe by those rules. Any other questions?
So height of Jedi power.
Politically, right?
Well, yeah, when they're not being hunted.
All right.
Pre-Order 66.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Question about the Jedi.
Like Clone Wars or not?
Well, yeah, I'll just say because there's that indeterminate amount of time between like the Old Republic and then when Darth Sidious shows up, which it seems like everything was pretty cool for the Jedi, and then within one generation he fucked it all up. So I'll say anywhere in there. That seems like a pretty fun way to be a Jedi.
Okay, so if I enter into the Jedi scenario, is it like me, but now I'm a Jedi? And like I have the amount of training I have, but I have access to the Force.
No. It's you would fall like you were a person in that world. So like as a small child, you probably get taken from your parents and then stuck in a room with Yoda for however long and
3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so now wizard question is like, do I start as like a level 10 wizard with some
level one wizard.
Oh, Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to be a level
I'm not
one
trying
wizard.
to level up. I'm just trying to like, I'm
Nope.
just trying to.
Well, you are a literal child. Yeah, there is no like
youngling?
you don't come in as a 35-year-old man with all of your powers. Like you are a person in this world and all of
What if I pay extra?
No.
So you're born as a Jedi. That's how you start your life.
Right.
Or I'm a D&D grown ass man level 1.
No, you are born as a person who will
Who starts the game at D&D as a baby?
Nobody.
pretty much everyone. Have you ever played a level 1? Like,
Yeah, but I'm an adult, right? I'm 6 feet tall still, right? Like I'm an adult.
no, you're a person. You grow up.
This sucks. I hate this one.
I told you
I
it was a
just need a
hard
Jedi
choice.
because I'm more into Star Wars than RPGs.
Okay, last question for me.
If you want to think of it like a lit RPG, think of it like you're reincarnated as a young.
I got it. Do I have knowledge though? Like in every lit RPG novel, do I know that I'm like, do I have the memories that I was once Kenny and all the knowledge
Why would you have that in this world and not in the Star Wars world? Like, why do you think that this is different?
Because I want it to be a lit RPG novel. I'm gonna pick fucking Star Wars now because I'm not gonna fuck that. Fuck all that. At least in Star Wars, like
Plot twist: halfway through your first year as a Padawan, you get to see your new Jedi instructor come through, and you're like, Master Skywalker, what's going on?
Yeah, of course.
Womp womp.
nope. I don't. I'd rather live in future technology than medieval shit outhouses and stuff. That's the
I don't know.
whole.
Faerun seems pretty non-medieval, but I don't know. Maybe there's some really deep cut Faerun lore that everybody just like shits in a hole. Seems like a pretty idyllic fantasy realm.
I want to be able to take showers. I want to be able to, like play on the internet, things like that.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars Jedi.
Yeah,
I knew Mike would pick Jedi no matter what, but
Yeah.
I was like,
Pretty
wizards can do so much more cool shit.
But
They can.
but my own decisions are like still my own decisions. Like I'm a Jedi, but like later can I be a Sith?
No,
I mean, yeah,
I don't
if you
see
can get
why
away
not.
with it. Yeah, I mean,
you can only be a Dark Jedi because you'd have to find a Sith master to train.
I guess so. I could be like a bad guy Jedi.
Yeah.
And worse.
yeah.
Got it. Still, internet. I'm gonna be this like Jedi just chilling on the internet, playing video games all day.
Playing
Like
like
to assume there's internet in Star Wars.
some first-person shooters or something.
The second I find the fucking system that has video games, and I'm like, video games, internet, I'm over there. You will take me there. Fuck y'all. Yoda's not gonna be happy, but I don't give a fuck.
Oh, well.
Darth obesity. That's
God
right.
damn it.
Yep, got it. I already Jedi.
Yeah, I feel like I have to pick Jedi because if I picked Wizard, I would inevitably become evil. Like,
But yeah, you could be like a lich, have like 10th level spells.
no, that's going to happen. Like,
you don't want like a dungeon full of Tarasques that you can just like,
that's guaranteed. I will be some kind of Dark Lord that gets taken
See,
down
that
by
seems
some
super fun
party
to
in the
me.
future.
I'm just sitting in my giant dungeon and I'll be like, oh, look at these dumb adventurers about to step on that spike trap or walk into the Tarrasque room and you just watch it on your little crystal ball.
Yeah, until
Fucking
Isidore
rookies.
cuts that ring off your finger, and then you're like, man.
Oh, well, I'm not going to be dumb enough to put my soul in.
You don't know shit about shit because you're a baby who was born in that world, and you're gonna be an idiot like the rest of the D&D and NPCs.
Why are you assuming? No. You're an adventurer, like, but you're not an NPC. It's just you go through the normal human life cycle.
Yeah, with
Or you
those
could be any
rules,
race.
that
No, I mean,
upbringing, that
I'm not going to say.
conditioning.
I mean, just like you could be like a Wookiee Jedi for all you want.
Yeah.
You could be like a Goliath wizard if you
A
want.
lot of the ability to game any of this stuff is because you have outside knowledge. Like you're gonna be conditioned into that lifestyle just
Yeah.
as heavily as any of those people are. So like, I'm not gonna know better. I rather
Well, yeah, because I know you were going to try to game it.
I'm gonna take my chances.
That's part of the Jin thing. Is like
We try to game everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to put the difficulty on hard. I'm going to step up the fucking challenge.
Yeah. So I'm not even committed to adventuring. I'm gonna be a Jedi. I've got minimum mind powers. I'm just gonna fucking
Plot twist: you become the wizard who becomes the Jinn.
Oh, yeah. Or you cross class into warlock, and then you
Yeah.
make the Jin your patron.
Yep.
I'd be like, Han Solo, have you seen any planets that have DSL? And he's to be like, yeah, I've heard of that. I'm like, take that, dog.
I'm surprised Kenny didn't even ask that. People in the chat asked if you could cross class. And I was like, I totally expected you to be like, can I be like a barbarian wizard?
I mean,
I would have given that to you.
Before that, I needed to know if I could game it with my game knowledge.
No.
I'll probably be putting, No. Jedi, universally. But for all different reasons, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Rob just loves Jedis.
Is there a cat race in
Star
Wars?
There's definitely a cat race in Star Wars.
Now this is cat racing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, get the fuck out of here.
Like,
all right, Rob is now a droid. He has to be a droid.
No way. I am kind of a robot.
You are a
C-3PO all day, every day.
Yeah. No way.
It's you.
Yeah. You made your bed, sleep in it.
Nah. That was a good joke.
All right.
Just not ready for it.
Good one. Rob, back from the Memorial News Desk. What we got?
Well, so there's a preview this weekend. So GW says they're going to be previewing a lot about Codex books in general. I would imagine they're going to take the covers off of something to do with the Necron book and probably the Space Marine book, and then probably usher in a couple weeks of previews, because they kind of do that. We saw like a month build up to like the new Codex. So it depends on how heavy they want to hype this. If they want to go like every day on like Twitch and like talk about, let's talk about the art in the Codex this day. Let's talk about the paint jobs in the Codex this day. I could see that.
Oh, that's definitely going to happen.
Slide into rules previews and things. And then maybe around the first week of October, that's my call. We'll see probably both the codexes coming out at the same time with some releases.
They're going to stagger them.
I don't know, because I think there's too much shit stacking up. Like they got to spread it out, thin it out. But it's
how did you know what was going on in the toilet this morning for me?
Oh, it's every morning for me. I just assumed you were the same. The problem is GW literally can't get things shipped to stores quick enough. Everything is so out of stock. We actually, we talked about shit sitting on the docks for like 30 days. I think I mentioned it last week that, or maybe I meant to, a longshoreman that listens to the show actually sent me pictures from the Long Beach docks. He's like, bro, we cannot turn these containers around quick enough. Like there's double premium on shipping containers, 40-foot containers to everywhere. So like GW can't get stuff in stores. When new releases aren't getting to stores the same day, and then their restock orders are coming in the next week, sometimes 20 days later. And if like, for instance, I've heard of stores ordering $4,000 worth of stuff and getting like 700 because GW's so out of stock right now. There's two different ways they could do this. Like they could either spread it out more, right? And just kind of like make some like made to order releases, which is kind of what they're doing with the Bandai. If you think about it, it's kind of genius. They bought themselves a week. That they could kind of space things out a little bit more, but there's so many things on the way that they have said, hey, now this stuff's coming out in Q4. It's really, there's a lot on the way. So Mega Gargants supposedly are going to come out the second week, I think it was, of October, because that's when that book drop is scheduled over on Amazon for Gargants. And we saw with the Lumineth Realm Lords, the new Age of Sigmar High Elves, there was a Amazon book release last week when they dropped. So chances are.
So if that's to be believed as an accurate date, you can kind of extrapolate a little more accuracy, like before that date or after that date for these other releases.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the way I'm seeing this in my mind, just going off of since May and all the previews, is that they are doing a preview on the 12th. Now, it's only been 3 weeks since the last preview. It's been pretty quick. So what they're probably trying to do is, if you look at the calendar, September 12th, then we've got 19th, then we've got the 26th, then it's the 7th. So in theory, after this weekend, there's only 2 full weeks till they might put the new codexes on pre-order, right? So if you got a 2-week window, like you need to really start hyping the stuff on Warhammer community because that's what they do. And then the second week, it's usually the content creators that they send stuff to doing, their content creation, painting, talking about the books. Right. So they're trying to synchronize all these things. So if this is the case and this is their preview, and then there's a week of more previews from GW, and then there's a week of the, content creators, then we're looking at the first week of October, because we know that the book for Mega Gargants is coming out the second week of October, supposedly. So
I just looked at the calendar and followed along with you, and I was like, all right, I see what you're saying.
So it may happen like that. It might not, because things are crazy right now. And actually, Olive Branch, Mississippi is one of the super hot spots for COVID right now. And Olive Branch is literally on the border with Tennessee, which is right below where their warehouse is, where a lot of their workforce comes from. They actually, if you ever get a GW order in the mail in a box and look at the bottom of it, the box was probably made in Olive Branch. So there's a lot of external and internal forces happening right now with Games Workshop. So just, there's a lot of stuff going on here in the States. That's what I would expect to see. So this week we've got new Lumineth Realm Lords coming out. Also White Dwarf 456, which is going to have new rules for, the Silver Templars, the first All Primaris chapter.
Oh yeah, they actually look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. They were
Silver. Hold on, catch me up on that.
So they made a successor chapter, like they made up. It's called the Silver Templars, and it's the first of the new All Primaris Space Marine chapters.
All right, follow-up question. Are they painted metallic silver or like gray?
Well, in the artwork, which looks really cool, they are like a slate gray with a orangey yellow to their stuff, but the models they're showing off are like lead belcher with a orangey yellow trim.
Let me speak to this for a few seconds. First off, shout out to the gray and orange Enders was that Salamanders, or what was his squad in Ender's game, Haspil?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Was it Dragon squad? And that was their colors. I think it was gray and orange.
Yeah.
Gray and yellow and orange. So whenever I see that color combination, I always think back to Enders. But secondly, I've said this for the entire fucking time we've been broadcasting. GW needs to get some hype new shit out. They love stacking easy page ups. And they did it with Grey Knights once upon a time, back to back with Necrons.
Yep.
And there's a method to that madness for bringing people into the hobby. So when you have an army that's basically just fucking silver and dry brushing and some wash, maybe, a really fucking smart move. And so we have Necrons, and now the release of a basic silver dry brushed Marine army. And guess what? Most beginner painters would love to do that, right? If you had a narrative explanation for it. Like, a lot of painting decisions are based on what's a little easier and more attainable for me at my state. That's why I asked that question. And I'm like, of course, that's going to be fucking lead belcher or some dry brush. Of course.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the, the candy coat look for a lot of Space Marines, but I tell people who are getting into painting, man, if you want to paint Ultramarines and you want to take a lot of the human element of painting, like the errors that can happen, and you want your stuff to just look clean AF, just spray in metallic blue and then paint in your trim colors. It's
actually even easier with these silver Templars, because yellow and orange are kind of trickier. You own an airbrush or a rattle can primer, you just rattle can them with that first, so you can get those hyper opaque and saturated colors you want, and you just go in and fucking slap that fucking metallic down, because that shit is easy to do, way easier. But also, if you don't mind having the silver or orange trim being somewhat reflective, it ain't nothing to do it in reverse and spray the motherfuckers up silver and just kind of glaze that in on the trim, and it'll be kind of candy, like Wyatt is saying, the whole look. So this is like a beginner's paint job dream. Like this color combination. Yeah. This is I
kind of wish they had elevated the Iron Snakes, because they're basically the same thing, except I think the thing that makes the Iron Snakes hard to do is their shoulder pad fields are white. So they're,
and you lose contrast. Yeah. White shoulder pad with silvers.
Well, they have blue trim.
Blue trim. That's a lot. That's cool though. Mm-hmm. What's the field of the Silver Templar?
I think it's black.
Easy. See, easy as fuck, dude. You spray this joint silver, You just paint the fields black, super easy, and then you just cut that trim in. I mean, shit, you could use contrast, dare I say it, easily to do all that. Like once you sprayed all the silvers in, you throw some of that fucking black Templar contrast in the field, and then some of that yellow or orange up in there, dog. You have this incredibly clean, easy to fucking attain look, and there's narrative lore to support it, and possibly rules.
Yeah, no, there's definitely going to be new rules coming in the White Dwarf. So this weekend, and this was the chapter that they had in the Conquest magazine. So overseas, a lot of people have been exposed to these already, and they did have one rule. I think it was one of the Space Wolf ones. They had a stratagem or something in the last edition. So for the Lumineth Realm Lords, week 2, the Alara Stone Guard. Those are the dudes with the hammers. Those are $60 US. The Avalor, the Stoneheart kit, but remember that makes all the the Avalori? I forget what they're called, but basically the Mountain Duders, the Burger King and his crew. Those are $110. The Dawn Riders, those are the cavalry. They came out in the army box. Those are $60, and the Alara Stone Mage is $40. So that is all of the Lumineth. So those will be out this weekend. So 2-week release for that.
That like demigod dude is really cool.
The Mountain Man, Mr. Burger King.
Why do you call him Burger King?
Because he looks like the Burger King, the Burger King mask.
He has a cow face. What are you talking about?
No, the mask. He looks like
it's a cow. It's literally a cow's head.
Yeah, but the style it is, it's like it looks like the Burger King, like the Burger King mask from
put
like
a link
the
in
last
chat.
episode.
So I know that you're like a lizard person and you only see in like temperature gradients, like the predators. So you may not be able to distinguish them, but it is literally a bull's head. That's his helmet.
I know, I see it.
I do not understand how you are taking that and connecting
It's the
it to
style of the Burger King,
like a human
mask.
male with a goatee wearing a crown. Like, how is that the same thing?
It's the same style. Look, if you
All right,
don't like my nickname for some, just be like, dog, I don't like your nickname.
Send me a link.
You're blowing my mind with how preposterous your connection is to this.
Send me a link right now. I need to
be preposterous.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go to Games Workshop, just to show you. Okay, where is this? Top tier? Is this the article? Top tier Lumineth?
Probably. That's
the way you describe this is so crazy. I have to say it for myself.
Yeah,
they have a picture
in the chat said cow equals burger and sees the Burger King.
I would have accepted that, but the fact that he's saying it looks like the actual Burger King man.
It looks like and it's a burger. Like, okay, maybe I should have led with that. Whatever.
Yeah, so like I would have gotten that, but like your thing is just so crazy.
I think it hits on 2 levels. Maybe I just went down too far. I don't know. Like, I'm not apologizing.
Okay, here he is.
It is so ludicrously
here's
a fucking Burger King man.
I'm pasting it in the Twitch chat.
Medicus already threw it up for me. I saw it.
Okay.
All right, I'm opening this too.
It's like he's a Minotaur, and I'm like, what are you talking?
I would have gone with like Mountain Goat as a nickname for this guy because he's got rocks on him and he looks like a goat, right? I would have gone like with the something like that. Burger King
long ship. That is a bad link.
That is not a good link.
I'm not apologizing. Anyways,
live your best life. Live your best life, man.
Also coming out today, Creature Caster put their new King of Malefica dual release on pre-order. So I don't know how long it's going to be on pre-order for. When I talked to them, I think they said like a week or so, but I didn't check.
Wait, which model is this? Which one is that?
The King of Malefica.
Yeah.
The Resplendent is 149 and the Ascendant is 119. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was on their website the other night looking at some stuff.
Yep. Looking pretty fresh. So that was important to talk about. Now, I did want to slide into something else, but I don't want to mention it quite yet. So we got all the Demon Slayer Knights in the mail for anybody that had ordered that back in July. So those are all in the mail, but we printed up some extras. So there's actually some available right now over on the Spiky Bits 3D Marketplace store. So if you missed out on that one, back in July, we got a few left, but we already started working on the Lord of Hates that we sold a bunch of those for as well. Not Baby Hate. He's the prince size.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go. Just one last call back to the Burger King fiasco.
I'm done with it.
Kilty O'Neill. I think
It doesn't exist.
He summarizes it perfectly. And he uses Rob's emote because he subscribes to your channel. Uses your face. Yeah. He says, "I get a free Whopper each time I mention Burger King."
Damn right.
That's why.
Burger King
on a gluten-free bun. Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Talking about
the Long War, brought to you by Burger King.
Fuck, I wish.
God,
I would be talking about Burger King all the time.
Yeah, I want to get some member of the BK Kids Club.
The BK Lounge. I'm all for it.
You gotta have coops.
Oh my God.
Coupons?
Dane Cook's original. Let me add to Rob's point. So yeah, that Demon Slayer model is sick as fuck. I got a few here in studio. I've been talking about it, pimping it on Twitch. And that Lord of Hate is solid. So I've had a few people ask me questions on Instagram and stuff like that. Like, are these sick? They are fucking sick. They're really clean. They're professionally resin printed at the highest level you can imagine. And with cats, and I have proven on stream multiple times, you don't even need to prime them.
You haven't primed it? I haven't primed. I primed Baby Hate, but every other thing you printed me, I didn't prime just to see. Because you said they say you don't need to prime. I was like, well, I'll find out right now. And you don't. It's crazy.
Nice.
And so, secondly, we are going in October, and I want to do a little promo. The community has taken to Orktober, even though that's years in the past, and GW had never made it a thing.
It's ours now. We've
it's ours, and so Orktober is upon us. It's getting close, so we're ramping up the promos. I actually got interrupted. I had to switch my phone to nighttime mode. Pop Goes the Monkey sent me some text while we were talking because I did get with him and I was like, hey, I want to check in on this. And he's sending me some incredible pictures of some like a robotic squig. And I'm just going to flip my camera, numbers to the mic or to the.
Oh, hell's yeah.
Literally a robot
squig.
Basically, Pop Goes the Monkey is going to get involved. Mantix is going to get involved. Spellcore is going to get involved. I even just picked up one of those Creature Caster Orcs for a giveaway.
Oh, the Forge Lord?
The Forge Lord. And so we're going to be going hard on Orktober.
Man, if only Creature Caster would do another one of those orcs.
I know. But the announcement is we're bringing back the Waltang Clan t-shirt for October. Now red, because everyone already collected the black. And then after October, it goes away. And then we are going to have some opportunities to get some LE limited dishes, one of a kind. So October, the most fanatic group of wargamers in our hobby or orc players, we're going to have some shit for you all October long. And I'm sure that many of the Long War TV stream team members are going to be partaking in this October celebration.
Nice.
I have a question.
I have some plans.
When is the exclusive Custody shirt month? That's
every time you ask, he pushes it back 1 week.
To you,
I'm not the only one.
I know. God damn it! It's becoming a thing.
It could have been this week, but you brought it up. So it's
Kenny now.
Nah, it ain't me. It's all Kenny.
It's all Kenny, just like GW.
Yeah.
Look, it is on me, and I keep getting distracted. It is on my plan. It is in my plans to draw that Custody shirt. I'm been putting it off because I'm not very passionate about it. And so, but I have found some artwork that I even got Rob to say was cool that I can kind of get inspired from. So we're going to do it.
We co-branded this. It's inspired.
No, I sent you a picture. And I was like, something like this. And you were like, yes. And then I was like, okay.
Oh, that was it.
That was it.
I was probably pooping.
Yes, you were. And I'm also really passionate about getting a Necron style design off the table because I feel like there's I can do a lot of shit with some Necron, like face masks, and I want to go hard.
It would be a good one because they're all about like chronomancy. Is you have to have like a Necron dude, but he's got like a giant clock chain necklace, like that one guy.
Like Flavor Flav.
Yeah, you got to do Flavor Flav, but as a like Cryptek.
I was going to go so hard and so serious on this and make him so
what
fucking
time
evil.
Is it?
So evil looking and so fucking insidious. And now that is in my head, Wyatt.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome.
You got to do that.
That is going to be your best-selling t-shirt.
Oh, it's going to be so fresh.
You should pay me for these.
God damn.
Wyatt, what is the name of your the Nurgle duders over
They are
Pop?
called Old School Decay Trooper. That is up on Pop Goes the Monkey web store right now. And I did not design those. That is Carnage King.
Carnage King.
He's my 3D design guy.
You got a guy?
Yeah, I got a guy. He designed the Marnius. Same guy.
Oh, this Marnius right here?
the one that you never sent me. Yes, he designed that.
Wait, I was supposed to send. I never sent you one?
Yes, you were supposed to. You never did. Send me one.
You want this one?
I would like an unassembled one, if possible.
Fine.
Thank you. Make a sticky note. You'll forget like you did last time.
I would not forget.
I don't have one. So
I don't think they're on Pop Goes the Monkey site yet, but
he sent me the link.
Did you?
Yeah, the Shapeways now. Monkey Res is coming soon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's why.
They're up on his Shapeways portal right now.
And yeah, to the world, not everything yet has been ported to Monkey Resin yet.
Okay.
More and more every day.
He says it's coming. He says it's coming tonight. So that'll be happening.
Oh Lord.
He literally said in minutes.
In minutes. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So when you hear this podcast, they will be up.
Yes, and we'll probably do an article on Spiky Bits as well to help promote that.
Can I shout out Privateer Press for 1 second, Rob?
Yeah, I saw your new tutorial this morning. I got it queued up to get written up. That looks fresh.
Thanks, man. It's another 40-minute video. Taking my time creating these things now instead of just being committed to that weekly schedule. And it is interesting because it's been a while since I dedicated an entire video to a brand of paints that wasn't Monument Hobbies, right? Because we kind of all universally agree, like, God damn, they're good, right? So going back in time to P3, just crushing that whole video out with P3 paints, like kind of remembering, like, damn, some decent ass fucking paints, man. It's a matter so that video is dope. Anybody hasn't seen it yet, because we do some black armor, we do some yellow, some incredible yellows. Two notoriously difficult colors, bundled into our 101 style of painting. And that yellow orange workup kind of was shocked by how easy it was to do with the P3 paint. So definitely check that out. Check out Privateer Press. And if you're looking to add a couple of incredible colors to your arsenal, man, a frontal orange, it's the real deal.
I think I'm gonna grab some because I've been lusting after them, and I keep talking myself out of it because I'm like, I already have all these paints, so I don't need more. But I see them every time I go to the shop, and I'm like, I kind of want some.
Yeah, you gotta have the good paints in your kit. I was waiting to talk about this till kind of the end of Tabletop Market Watch. So GW announced that there would be a Acadian action figure through one of their partners. I think it was Green Wolf Studios.
Oh yeah, super high end.
Military action figures. Yeah.
Right. They announced it's going to be 180 pounds. So
I mean, it looks like it. I mean, like that uniform is actual like hand stitched canvas and like all that stuff. I was like,
so obviously when you said action figure, I had something else in my head.
No. It's like like the 12-inch tall GI Joes where they have like all of their kit and it's actual like leather and canvas and all that. It's like one of those.
Yep. It's really high end. It's not something you're going to play with. Well, you might play with it.
Come in.
I would.
I mean, to be honest, I was disappointed with the $100 Bandai. I felt like it was too much for what you got. But obviously the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
I got my guy on the shelf right in front of me. He hangs out with me all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a cool piece, but like quality wise, like there was literally glue marks on mine. Like I'm like, come on, guys, $100, really?
I didn't have that on mine.
It was in my video. Like, it was kind of buster. So, like I don't know. I mean, I could see double the price for higher end, like very very tight tolerance quality. I could see that, but in the end of the day, when you got McFarlane putting out figures for $22 at the end of the month, like
I imagine it has to do more with like the actual cost of production. So it's like the machining to make the Bandai one is probably a lot more than the machining to make the McFarlane one, which is more of a like an action figure type product with those materials and like how those are made. Whereas like the Bandai stuff, that's like some very high end precision engineering to make those parts.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But I think maybe a bigger takeaway from this, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time on this, was the fact that GW is allowing these folks to do this through Kickstarter, which is something we have never seen.
What? That's been
Wait, that's a Kickstarter? I didn't realize that was a Kickstarter.
Oh, wow.
It's a Kickstarter. It's not a pre-sale on their website. It's a Kickstarter.
I wonder if it's because their company is small and it's a very high-end product.
So
okay.
I could see that, but it's tremendous potential in my opinion, because now we have the fact that there's been a lot of folks that I'm sure has come to GW with a great idea. Maybe it didn't fit so well with the licensing schema or pricing breakdown. I don't know what it is. I never have looked into it. But at the end of the day, this could lead to a lot more dope ass products.
Because GW has been highly they don't allow it. They license their IP.
They have never allowed
literally,
it.
me and Rob have interacted with many licensed IPs.
Yes, we have.
Who came to us and we're like, what about Kickstarter? They're like, it's literally in our contract. We can't do it. Like
yes.
multiple times. We're like, so you have to pre-sell with no brand. It's going to be rough. And this is literally unprecedented. So
right, because
this could change the game.
It really could, because what it forced companies to do in the past was to pre-sell on their website and collect those orders. And
with a shitty level of branding, because Kickstarter is branding now. Right.
It's just like, why it's a whole rabbit hole.
If you're literally a company who just began its existence yesterday, and then 60 days from now, you're going to start pre-selling this hot new IP, nobody gives a shit because they don't know who the fuck you are.
Well,
but if you did it on Kickstarter, they do. And that's where that's been an issue.
Yeah. I don't think these guys are new. Like you go to their website.
No, they're not.
They're an established business, but like many like collectible toy companies, they're not a huge company.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're new. What I'm saying is the GW didn't give a fuck who you were. If you were new or not, they didn't care. So
that was in your contract, was you do not do Kickstarters.
And so now if GW, there's enough evidence here that GW may have just said, okay, fine, Kickstarter.
So
but that means the IPs are going to reach a lot more people if this is like the trend.
Yeah, we could see a whole new level of, or a whole new wave of products coming out from GW. But that being said, too, there could be some issues because there's no guarantees on Kickstarter. Once the project's over, your money's gone. And if you get something, that's cool, but it might not. So it's a little. I could see where there might be some feel badsies or some potential PR snafus. Because
Cool Mini or Not knows a whole lot about that.
Cool Mini or Not has a whole lot of issues going on right now. I don't even want to. I don't know where to start with that. But, and I'll be honest, if you want to dig into Cool Mini or Not, you really got to start with New Wave Mail Order back in the early 2000s. Just look that stuff up on the Atlanta. What's the Attorney General? The Georgia Attorney General. Website, look up New Wave Mail Order, or some of you probably remember New Wave Mail Order from the past, and that's enough said. That's Cool Mini, or the same people in Cool Mini, whatever.
Rob, to your point though, on Kickstarter, that's probably why GW didn't like it, because they're worried about the people who had their licensed IP not fulfilling their obligations. But so enough time has passed now that Kickstarter people, it's kind of part of the culture now. I got this shit I fucking pledged 2 years ago, and back in the day, people used to be really mad about it. But now as it's kind of taken over as a branding element for pre-selling, and it's built enough culture around it, people just kind of get an endless cycle of shit that's 6 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, and it's just endlessly showing up at their house. And now it's just part of the culture. And so maybe GW finally recognized fuck it.
Well, that, or they have a plan in place, or to vet these companies, whether they're going to, deliver or not internally. I don't know. I'm not them, but so there's some risk versus reward. I think on the reward side, there's a lot of potential, because we could see all sorts of new dope things. But on the risk side, there could be a snafu. And people might hold GW responsible, even though they're just a licensor at that point. They didn't take the money. I'm not sure how the licensing changes hands and things, but
Honestly,
don't know.
I'm hopeful for this because it
Sure.
does read like they are preparing for what is going to happen to their IP once a lot of these projects they have in the works come out, because they are showing they realize that like people may not want tabletop models, but they definitely want to give them money for their IP. So licensing to companies where that is their whole deal, like somebody's going to watch Eisenhorn and be like, man, I want like a 12-inch collectible of Gregor Eisenhorn, but Games Workshop doesn't make that. So licensing to a company where that's all they do, that's going to net them a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just a thing to the chat. Like, yeah, I know all about Gunpla and Gundams, and I know that they're cheap, but you have to talk about when it comes to the collectible side of things. It's not just the material cost of the kit itself, and it's not just like doing the sprues and putting them in a box or whatever. Like, this is a person that Bandai has to employ that is cleaning these pieces, sanding them, and then painting them. So you're also paying for this collectible being pre-painted in a professional manner and then put into the box and the presentation of everything too. So let's just say that like this Bandai Marine is the same level of quality and monetary worth as a master grade Gundam, right? So that other $50 that you're paying for, that's them putting it together in a professional manner and then painting it in a professional manner and putting it in the display level box presentation that they ship out. Whereas a Gundam, it's like they're just giving you plastic and you have to put it together and paint it yourself.
One of them is a hobby product and one of them is a collectible product.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Like, I think there's a lot to be said for both of those.
That's a great point though, Rob. Like this Kickstarter revelation is kind of a big deal.
I think that's honestly, sorry to all the Imperial Guard fans out there, but I kind of think that's the bigger news out of all this. The action figure looks dope for sure, but so definitely keep a close eye on all that. Going forward, because lots more on the horizon.
I want my 12-inch tall Space Marine where his armor is actually cast metal out of ceramic and depleted uranium. That's what I need in my life.
Yes.
What Imperial Guard news?
That was the Cadian action figure. It was just Imperial Guard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll get new previews this weekend. We'll get new rules because the White Dwarf coming next weekend for Space Marines. So I guess if you're a keyword Silver Templars, you're gonna get some pre-Space Marine rules. Maybe we'll be able to take some clues from that of what will be in the next Space Marine Codex from there. So
no doubt.
I don't know. Exciting.
Mike, I know there's a Haspil's Corner coming up here. I know something just happened that is like you and me have been nerding out on it for so long, since 10 years ago when you got me into Audible.
Did JJ make a new movie?
JJ did not fucking make a new movie. Don't start this Haspil's Corner off shitty.
The Goonies episode of Lovecraft Country.
No.
Yeah, I might have to.
We don't. Let's not. It sucks. No, I agree with you.
We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that on the cast anyway, because it would involve spoilers.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Talk about that new trailer.
Yeah. So the Dune trailer dropped. And I actually have other stuff to talk about in Haspil's Corner, but yeah, the Dune trailer dropped and it was everything I wanted to see. It was really, really cool. Because they didn't introduce anything or anyone, but you're like, there's the Reverend Mother, there's Duncan Idaho, there's the Beast Raban.
Yeah, he broke out into song. He was like, started singing Everything I Hope For. Everything I Need.
It was really great.
You are so beautiful.
I'm just hoping that they don't Star Wars it, frankly. and my, I was talking to a friend of mine when we were watching it, and I said, they took Star Trek, they took Star Wars. Please let me have Dune. That was the feeling I came away with from the trailer, but there's no telling. I mean, the whole scene with the Reverend Mother, Gaius Mohiam, and
it's in the box.
in the box and everything. I mean, I saw enough of that scene that it captured that sense of dread, and her just having her face veiled. I was like, man, she's so way scary.
Oh yeah.
She's terrifying.
Yeah. To be honest, like I'm completely blown away because when they first started kind of teasing out all this stuff a while back, where they were like, this is, Timothy Chalamet is going to play Paul Atreides. And I was like, this guy, it's like 12-year-old twig looking ass dude is going to be Paul Atreides. And then you look in the movie and you're like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He did a very, very good job. There's a Netflix movie where he plays Henry V. And
yes. The King. I watched that. It was a very good movie.
And he did a really good job with that.
Made me hopeful for this. Also, again, because my introduction to Dune as a visual media was the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries. Paul Atreides like a 25-year-old man in that series, and so like in my head, that's what I think of. But then in the books, they're not very old at all. Like they are almost children that have just been like enhanced through genetics and all that stuff to be like faster and stronger and smarter and all that kind of stuff. So him and the way that he looks and that body type, but when you put in the way that he's acting, the regal bearing and martialness of that character in that trailer, I was like, yeah, it works. This looks really good.
It looks really, really good.
Haspil, speak to the update on the CG look of the worms.
Yeah. So the first
of the Shidaloo.
The first glimpse of the worm that you get. And I love this in the trailer because if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what you're looking at. It's when they're escaping in an ornithopter as the worm is consuming one of these processing facilities.
Right. Yeah.
And it is entirely too damn big. It is like when they're like, I was just like, wait, is that the scene with the harvester? Is that a worm? I was like, holy crap, that is way, way bigger. And, I have a special place in my heart for the David Lynch version, but literally that worm that eats the harvester there was like a hand puppet, like, and the guy's like under a table, and I'm like, this just doesn't do it justice. This was unbelievable.
I never thought about it until I saw that trailer, but giving them baleen teeth makes so much more sense than the like tri-mouth with all the little like hard dragon teeth that they have. Like the baleen teeth makes so much more sense because they go through the ground and filter out and feed on the spice. Yeah. And it just,
and I'm curious on what the knives are going to look like now though. The knives that are made out of the teeth.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So like I was going to say, like in the trailer, we saw some combat scenes and they did have some bladed weapons, but they look like very contemporary military, like blacked out Tonto blades.
Yeah. But those were the Atreides weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
So who knows? I wonder what I do wonder what they will look like for the,
in chat, I didn't want to correct Wyatt, but they poop out the smite.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I was like, I'm not super deep on the textbook lore of Dune, but it would make more sense biologically for them to have baleen teeth.
No, it was the sickest part of when I saw the scale and I saw the baleen teeth. I was like, oh, this is so dope and obvious.
Also, did you notice that it looks like an eye? Like the teeth around the maw looks like a pupil and an iris. I thought that was a cool motif.
But at the end of the trailer, when they had Paul running away and the worm comes up and then it's come up against solid ground, so it backs off. All I could think of was Usul has called up a big one. So I was just like, if that's just a regular worm.
Oh my God, you're right. We have worm sign, the likes of which God has not seen.
I thought you were going to pull out a Tremors reference.
No. I was just like,
when I thought you were going to jive.
At the end, when there's worm sign, and they have the atomics going off and against the Sardaukar, all that's, and they looked amazing.
Sardaukar.
Oh, dude, I can't
wait. Dave Bautista.
Oh, yeah. And who's the guy who's going to play Baron Harkonnen? I can't remember his name, but he's been in Snow. Oh my God, he's been in so many things.
Yeah,
I was like, I could tell who it was even with the prosthetics, and I was like, oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, and then Batista, I mean, them just showing, and I was like, the Beast Raban, like immediately. I don't know anything about the movie. Like, I haven't looked at who was cast, right? I just knew that Chani and Paul, and so I haven't really looked at who was cast. But as soon as they showed him, I was like, if he's not the Beast Raban, I don't know who he is.
So they're saying Stellan Skarsgård. It's like,
oh yeah, he's phenomenal.
Jason Momoa is not.
He's Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I hope they don't mess it up. Everything so far looks really, really good. And I was saying before the podcast, we were saying Zendaya has not uttered a single syllable, and she's already killing it.
I was really hoping they would pull out the like "Tell Me of Your World" Usul in the trailer, but
like so good.
I'm sure it'll come in a later trailer, but
just her fierce gaze as she comes down is just like, oh man.
I like the design. I'm kind of a prop and costume nerd, like Haspil is, and just like the armor and still suits and the design of the ships and the ornithopters and all that. I'm just like geeking out over it. It looks so cool. That very high science fiction from the 80s. But not goofy looking because they can finally do it justice. So like it always looks dope as shit in like a matte painting or a book cover or something, right? But then, their stuff looks silly in physical medium, but it looks so cool now.
I'm hype. Anybody who hasn't read the novel, it's on Audible, it's full cast production. Get hype. Get ready.
Get hype. Check it out. It's very
also it hasn't been confirmed, but Pink Floyd was playing in the trailer, and I can't help but think that that's a nod to Jodorowsky because he wanted Pink Floyd to score the movie so badly, and that was one of the reasons that they couldn't get it going.
Yeah. And the other thing I have to talk about is Necromunda, the video game came out.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, I have not been able to play a lot of it, but I did play like the first 2 or 3 tutorials of it, and I got to say I love it. There's some things that I saw in the tutorial that I'm hoping do not carry on to the game, because like the AI in the tutorial is kind of stupid. They will leave themselves open. They will put themselves out in situations that you never would, but I'm kind of hoping it's just for the tutorial so that you can get to use your flamethrower or whatever.
What kind of gameplay is it?
It is very, very similar to XCOM. So
it is like a turn-based.
It is a turn-based. Now, what makes it different is that it is there's a couple really cool things that I like about it. It is third person. So it's not like the top down isometric that XCOM has. It also feels like Mechanicus, but Mechanicus plays faster. Like Mechanicus plays a lot faster. Like Mechanicus is way more streamlined than say XCOM, especially XCOM 2. This is way more crunchy and grainy like XCOM. Like every single guy can maneuver their inventory in the game time. What I really like about it is that, how in XCOM you can you start with a guy and then you go, hey, I want him to go through this path and then move over here and he uses this many action points and then I'm going to have him fire.
Right.
So in the Necromunda game, I really like this. It's really cool because it's like third person, so you feel a little bit more immersed. Mm-hmm. And then you can move your person around and as if you were pathfinding, right? And it won't use the action points. It'll show you how many action points it would take to go there, but you're actually moving the person around. Right. And then when you hit, I'm using the Steam controller. So when you hit A, then the person executes that move and it actually does it. But if you're moving around and you accidentally trip Overwatch or a trap or something, hey, guess what? That was your move.
Oh, so you have to
Like,
be
it just
careful
happens.
with your
Yeah.
okay.
So
Very
I was just like,
interesting.
that's really, really cool.
That does sound cool. How many? What are the gangs you can play out the gate?
Out of the gate, you have Escher, Goliath, and Orlok.
Okay.
And
get down with some Warlock action.
yeah, and I feel that's a pretty good balance because they all three of them play very differently. Now, granted, I haven't played Goliath, I haven't played Orlok, but I have on the tabletop, and the gangs play very differently on the tabletop. This is not a 1-for-1 port of the tabletop game. This is its own thing. But having said that, like, it uses the Unreal Engine, the environment definitely looks and feels like Necromunda. I was a little bit disappointed in the models, like the actual character models. They're a little bit smooth for my taste, a little bit like low poly. But I mean, it gets the job done. It's just that, like, I've been playing a lot of Warzone, and the characters in Warzone are almost photoreal. So take that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's like the Necromunda characters are more cartoony. They don't look like photoreal. So just take that with a grain of salt that I'm coming off of. I actually think
that's a good idea because those types of video games age way better.
Yeah. And it's like XCOM, right? The XCOM models don't look, they're nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
but
like
they do they do the job, and it's a tactical game, so that does the job. I wish they were a little bit more high res, but I'm literally nitpicking at this point. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. But having said that, that's why I say, like, the gameplay is slow. It's more like XCOM. So it's like, if you're used to like jumping into Mechanicum and playing 2-3 missions in a half an hour, that's not going to happen. You're going to play one mission in an hour. The gameplay is a lot slower because it is punishing. So if you slip up, if you mess up, you're going to pay for it.
Cool.
Just like XCOM.
Well, I love playing XCOM too. So
yeah. The other thing that I really dig, right, is it'll say, like, pick a fighter, and you don't know what the other side is going to pick, right? So you pick your fighter based. You go, okay, it's not just like XCOM where you go, hey, I want this guy to just go next, right? You pick a fighter out of any of your fighters. You can pick a fighter, but then it goes up whatever the opponent picked. And it's almost like a, hey, what's your initiative? Oh, my initiative is higher. I go first. Or what's your initiative? My initiative is lower. You go first. So that's really cool.
So there's not like a global initiative order for your teams?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And that changes things up because you're like, I really need this guy to be able to get a shot off, so I'm going to pick him. And then you don't know what the opponent picked. So it's like a competing activation.
You're picking into blind picking. And
you can only like activate one fighter per initiative step, or can you do like the same guy 4 times in a row?
No, one fighter per round, I think is the term that they use.
Round. Okay.
Per round. So, and then once they go, they can't, once they go, they can't go again. Right. And so it's very cool. And like I said, I've just scratched the surface because I'm like, your fighters they don't get killed. They get like grievously wounded, kind of like in the game, you know, so that they can continue the campaign. But now they're going to have wounds or whatever. They're going to be affected by that, which follows the way it is in the tabletop. And the really cool thing is, if that person is grievously wounded and they're out of commission, but you find like a stim pack, because they have like these loot chests basically around the map.
Cool.
If you open up these loot chests and you find like a stim or a medikit or something like that, you can bring that fighter back. You can like basically res them and they're back in the game. So I thought that was really, really cool. I'm really digging the flamethrower and the chem thrower. Those were really, really cool. The las guns, everything kind of felt the way it should for Necromunda.
What was the thing where like it shows deployment and it looks like they're on little figure bases?
They're not really on figure bases. That's just like an area of control.
Oh, okay.
So
I got
if you
it.
want to go assault somebody, you have to basically be base to base, quote unquote. With
Interesting.
your area of control has to hit the other area.
It's like their
of
strike
control.
range.
Yeah, then you can do melee.
Okay.
But it's very cool. The voice acting is a little weird because it is Necromunda. So I was expecting, because of like the audiobooks, everyone has kind of like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a Cockney London accent is what I would call it. But in this game, some of the voice actors, and Wyatt, I know you're going to love this, sound like California Valley Girls.
Oh, Jesus.
I knew you'd love that. Yeah, there is one character that as soon as she started talking, I was like, that is not the accent I was expecting for Escher.
Sadness.
It is very much like a California Valley girl. But the story so far, granted, I'm only like 3 missions into the tutorial. It does have a story. I think where this is going to really shine as a game is probably multiplayer. Because they made that a key component, and it's like, that could be really cool, but it could also, I foresee that could be also very long.
Right.
You know, a game on multiplayer might take over an hour.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's like people who like those games really like those types of interface. I mean, like if this is like to an audience of people who really like that type of tactical game similar to XCOM, which is an insanely popular game, then I think that people would flock to it because like they're all about that. You know, people who sit down to play XCOM, they're not like, okay, I got to do this in like 10 minutes. Then I got to go.
Right. Yeah. They're just gonna, they're in it for the long haul.
It's definitely not that kind of game. It is really cool. I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah. Somebody in the chat says it has a ton of bugs. That's PC, man. Get used to it. PC gets used as the freaking beta for the consoles. So that's been a thing for a long, long time. So I'm just used to it at this point. I'm just like, you know, it was like Rome 2 Total War. It was like that was buggy for a freaking year before you could really even play it.
I'm sure they'll work it out. Most of the time, PC stuff is really easy to hotfix. Yeah. Especially on Steam.
Yeah. So I'm not really worried about the bugs. I was just more worried for me. I was more worried about the time because like, Mechanicum, I can play a mission, or Mechanicus, I can play a mission pretty quickly. You know, you go into the tomb, do the first couple of things, fight the big fight, and then get out, and it's been a half an hour. You know, this looks like it's going to be first of all, one of the things I liked about it though, is that I was like, oh, this is going to be a time vampire. Like as soon as I started playing it, I was like, but that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. I was like, this is really deep. This is immersive. You can sit there and build, and just delve into it. It's got a lot of RPG kind of characteristics to it. So you can sit there and build your gang.
I call that the mini game. They're like,
So it's like if you don't like slow games and you're looking for more of a third person shooter, this isn't for you. If you want a tactical RPG type game that has the feel of the tabletop without being a 1-to-1 port, then I would say get it.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely gonna have to keep my hands off of it for now, or
yeah, if you have to get a lot done, probably it's like XCOM in that sense, right? If you need a lot done, do not boot up XCOM because you're gonna lose a week.
Trying to finish my Death Guard army over here. I gotta help. Have another vampire in my life. So we did a lot of content.
I think so.
And we had with no meat and potatoes, honestly, which there's not really much outside of normal GW speculation.
There's some events, and it's just speculation at this point, you know.
I guess SoCal Open got canceled.
Unfortunately.
Yes, sadness. But good news. I actually have a tournament at the end of this month that I get to go to, so I'm very excited about that.
Where's that at?
San Antonio.
Oh, cool.
And it is 100% on the up and up. It is going to be following all social distancing guidelines and masks and all of that good stuff. He actually sent me a layout of the tables. Like they actually drew up like a floor plan of where all the tables are going to be and pre-measured everything. And they're working with the hotel and all that kind of stuff. So it's like good to go.
What about pants?
I mean,
as long as you wear a mask over your balls, you're fine.
Yeah. Was there a time where we didn't have to wear like pants?
Well, I mean, some people seem to think there is with this whole mask thing. So.
Rob, it's not like 2000 BC anymore. We have to wear pants.
Do you though?
Hey, I didn't come in the world with this pants. I'm not leaving.
Why? What about my rights though? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Aren't you the one who told me like the best comeback to any of this, that it's like literally more of a annoyance to put clothes on to go outside?
I would rather not dress to go outside. Like the fact that you force me through social requirements to put pants on is fucking infuriating to me. And I do it.
I have to put clothes on or I will burn.
It's frustrating to me.
Me too.
I would much rather just like I have these pair of gym shorts I really like, no underwear, no shirt. Like that would be my life. And every time I go outside like that to let the dog out, Bona gets really fucking mad at me. She's like, really bringing down our neighborhood when you go outside like that.
Bringing down our neighborhood. You are a step up from finding bottles of Doc Cuddies in the drain.
And good old Doc Cuddies.
Good old Doc.
Hobo mouthwash.
Delicious.
That's awesome. Wyatt. Get to field test the new Death Guard vibes. They're awesome.
So excited.
That's God damn it, man. I can't wait. Just been passionately plugging along, working on my Death Guard, putting tons of hours in them. Finally got my Defilers done. Shout out to Wyatt for giving me some 3D printed turrets that I slapped on.
Still kind of salty.
I know you're mad, and because I was going to tell you, because you were like, "Oh, how do those spikes come?" I was like, "Oh, they're perfect," and I just like broke them all off and sanded it down.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted that
hours of my life supporting that thing to make sure that the spikes were perfect. Just gone, wasted.
He doesn't understand the plight.
I do not.
You just clipped them off. Like, God damn it.
I do not. I clipped them off and sanded them.
Oh, you know what? We needed to. We'll save it for next week. I got the hotness to talk about next week. You mentioned 3D printing.
Man, it's a real JJ move of you to drop that mystery box.
It's the end of the show. We'll talk about it next week.
That's a solid clickbait move.
I am a masterful baiter.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. All right. Well, Rob.
Hey, Haspil, take us out.
Mood. What has mood got to do with it? You fight when the necessity arises, no matter the mood. Mood's a thing for cattle or making love or playing the balisette. It's not for fighting.